Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is Israel. This is the Isupk Austin's Lashawan Qadash class. Uh, we finna get into basically we're going to break down probably the origins. We're probably gonna go more into the origins today because the origins we did a lot for like about a couple of weeks about breaking down words and certain things. Before we go down to the origins, I'm about to break down. I'm about to go over the last week class. So we might be doing that for about 10, 15 minutes or however. So we're gonna finish the class off with the origins of the Hebrew alphabet, or the characters of each Hebrew character, right? Of course, we call them characters and not letters because they are representations of things, right? And they make sounds. So last week, right? Last week we talked about the pronouns and possessive pronouns. So the difference, the reason why we have two sides is because you will have a formal way of saying things, and you will have a regular conversation between two people way of saying things, or slang, people you comfortable with, right? You're gonna talk a different way. We're able to do this because this is our language, right? And the Bible in its entirety, the Bible itself is spoken with slang. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a black man's book, right? Now, check this out. So, we have Anya as I, which would, if I said I went to the store, right? I'll say Anya, right? But if I want to use just my Salagi, if I just want to use my, right? Or ya, I'll use ya at the end of a word. So these possessive pronouns could be used with the word in itself. It's not standalone, which reason why is ya, ka, nawa, wa, right? Kam, kan, ham, and han, right? Right? Well, I'm missing one. Salagia, ha. This should be ha right here. All right. Like I said, just going over last class, right? This quick thing, break down the last class. So we use the possessive at the end of a root word, right? So for example, I really don't want to erase nothing right now. Let me see what I can erase. Let's see what I can erase. We're gonna erase the when, who, what, when, and where. Let me find my eraser. Salakia. Salakia. All right. All right. So I'm gonna erase this right here. All right. So last class, we want to say, first of all, what is father in Hebrew? Father in Hebrew is what? Abba. Abba, right? Or in Abba. Abba, that's what it is in Hebrew. Right. So, but if I want to say that it is his father, I'm going to say what? Abba wa, right? I'm going to add the wa to it. I'm going to add wa to it, right? I'm going to add wa equals his. Boom. Now, at the Y, I'm also going to add the Y. I don't know if you can see the sign, but we know what Y is, boom, right here. Abba Y, right? That's what we're going to do. That's what his is. Now, if I say our, we heard our before. Why? Because we've seen the prayer. It says our Father. Our Father. So, what we're going to do? We're going to put, what will we put here? For our. What will we put here for our? We will put Noah, right? Because it's our father. So we would say Abba Noah, which equals our. That's what it would equal, right? Now we write that again. Boom. Abba. That's just Abba, that's the root word. And we added Noah to it, right? We added Noah. Simple, right? So that's a breakdown of that. We also use ha, so we use that Abba. So like Abba wa, right? Now Let's see if we can find another example. Let's see if we can find another example of using possessive pronouns, right? Or yeah, let me see. So also with that, so you see how we broke that down? It's real simple. I'm not gonna go over it all the way because again we did it last class. But see how we had Abba, which was father. We made our father. We put Nawa right here, right? Now we're going to break down when like the difference between the formal and the informal, right? So for example, if I had the who, what, when, and where here, right? The 4 W's. So we just wanted to say where. What is where? Where in Hebrew is ayah, right? Ayah, ayah. All right. We have ayah, right? Now, what do we want? So ayah is where. So if I say where is he? Where is he? What would you say? You would say informally. You would say ayah, ayah, he. We have hawa, which is we pronouns be the formal, but the equivalent to this be wa, ayawa, which is what? Where is he? Why don't we use is? Because is implied, right? We don't use is in the Hebrew, right? Now, how would you say this? How would you say this? How would you say this formally, right? We would still use ayah, right? But we have this, hawa'a. So we would say ayah. We would say ayah, right? We would say, yeah, use the same word, keep the same word. Ayah, ha, wa'a. Hawa'a. That's what we would say, hawa'a, right? Boom. So where is he? Exact same thing. It's just informal tense, right? It's formal. Formal. If I talk to somebody that professional setting, right? Knowing they probably not know the Lashawan Qadash, but you get it. If I want to write something down, but if I want to talk slang, I want to say slang, but just in an informal way, right? I would just add that. It means the same thing, right? All right. So of course, let me see if I can break some more stuff down, give some more examples. So of course you have, like, for example, one formal way, things we say, right? We have a thon and a thumb. So for example, we say, hey, Shalom Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Baraka Thumb. Who am I talking to? I'm talking to more than one, right? You, plural. So I'm talking to brothers. So it'll be a thumb. You, plural, a thumb. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Baraka Thumb. Now, if I talk to the sisters, when we salute our sisters, you will hear us. Some brothers, so you don't want to mess up and end it with the ma, right? Because that's masculine. The na will be feminine when you end it off with na. So when we say shamar thun, shamar thun, right? Sing y'all shine, right? So there you go. All right, Yahweh Shema Atan, Lord watch over you in the name of Yahweh Shai. That's what we say. All right. And like even right here, we have when we group the brothers, we say Shalom Yahweh, Shalom peace, Yahweh and Lord, Bahashem the name, Yahweh Shai, Christ, right? Shalom Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Barak. We say Barak, which was bless you. That's what we're saying. Now you would say Atah if it's one brother, Atham if it's multiple brothers. But so right now we have Barak, and this leads me right into the next thing we want to talk about that we ended the class off yesterday was making words past tense in an action word. I mean, so if I want to say, what you see right here is examples of this already. So if I want to say bless, right? Bless you, right? So I'll say bless you, brother, right? Barakatham, barakatah. Bless you, multiple brothers, barakatham, right? I'll just use barak, right? But if I am blessing you, how would I say that? If I am blessing you with something, I am blessing you, brother, then I would say barawak. Why? Because the wa, when you put wa in the middle of a word, it makes it, in English terms, with I added ing to it, right? That's what you do when you add wa in the middle. So, for example, we have barawak, shawamar, bawa'ah, tazawa'ah, right? Which was bless, watch, come, and leave. Now we have blessing. Now I'm blessing, watching, coming. Now I'm leaving, right? Leave, hey, leave. Now I'm leaving. It makes it action. But what do you want to say when you want to make it already happen? Like he left, or I was blessed. He blessed me. How would I say that? I would have added the yah to it, right? So you had wa, but you would add yah in the middle of it. So if I wanted to say bless, right? I want to say blessed, right? Bless equals what? Barak. Barak. So if I want to say that, I would add yah to it. So equals ba ra or yah. Blessing. Boom. Not blessing, I'm salagi. Blessed. But check this out. Now, sometimes as we talking about naming things, right? If you want to name a child, like sometimes in the scriptures, you see they name their children based on something they went through, right? Or like the Lord heard my affliction, right? Like something, how the child is meaningful to you. Now, you would have, I could make this a name, Barayak, blessed. So, okay, so I have Barawak, right? Whatever it is, this could be, if I say he's my blessing, right? My blessing. I could have what? Barawakia. See that? See how when you start getting the foundation, you start understanding the language, right? Everything starts to click, right? And you can say different things. So I'm like, hey. And somebody asked me like, what's your son name? I'm like, Barawakia, right? Barawakia, right? My blessing. He's my blessing I received. He's my blessing. All right. So boom. Now, and we could take the same principles and use this with it, how we would do that, right? We would use a formal sense of it. So, okay. We're going to use both of them together. So I'll say this, look. Haya. Actually, I'm going to use he. All right. Ha. Or ah. Right? He, we just used blessed, which was what? Ba. Wa. Ya. Me. Barayakia. He blessed me. He blessed me. Hawa'a Barayakia, right? Hawa'a Barayakia. Yeah. All right. So we have Hawa'a Barayakia. Barayakia. Right? When you say these, when you're saying them, you want to say it like where it makes it should be fluent. So if I say I don't say how I won't say how No, how All right. I don't say bawa ya yakya. Bawa ya yakya. I don't want to say it like that, right? Sometimes you just like try to for your the practice, you want to split it up, then try to say it again fluently when it sounds good. So I would be like bawa yakya, bawa yakya, bawa yakya, bawa yakya. See that? Easy when you break it up because everything is sounds. All right. Don't try to take this whole thing you see it and try to pronounce it one at once. You can start with each sound, each character, because ba is one character, right? Right? Ba is one character. Ra, ya, yak, ya. Ba, ra, yak, ya. Ba, yak, ya. See? Easy, right? Now, Salaki. All right. Let's see what else we got. I don't want to be too long on this. We covered everything from last week. I think we went over the also. Let's go. We went over the 4 W's. I'm gonna write those down real quick. I'm gonna erase this. Erase this now. Right. All right. So we have who, what, when. Who, what, when, where, why. So the majority of when you try to ask a question, right? So you say, yeah. What? Yeah, ma. We have when. We have Mathia. Mafia. Okay. Mafia. Yeah, Mafia. Yeah, Mafia. Where is Ayah? Right? Ayah. And why is what a why, right? The boom. All right. Mother why, right? We have Ayah, Mafia, Maya, right? Who, what, when, and where. Write these down just to have them when I ask questions, right? So, for example, great. So if I be like, if I don't know a brother's name, I'd be like, hey, Ma Shalamka. Or, no, if I want to know how a brother's doing, right, I would say Ma Shalamka, right? Rather than just saying, hey, Shalom. I want to actually know what the brother's doing. I would say Ma Shalamka, which would be what? Based on what we have here. Break that down. I don't know if I did it next last class, but think about it. I say Ma Shalamka. What word do you know in that? You know Shalom, right? So I have Shalom. Boom. I said Ma Shalamka. So Ma is what or how? Shalom is peace, right? Shalom is peace. Ma Shalom. And I said, connected, right? What's that ka coming from? The ka is coming from boom, boom, your. How's your peace? So is. Why? We don't write is, but it's implied. Just for English sake, right? So we have Mashalamka. How is your peace, right? Or let's see. So if I want to say, how would I say, what is your name? How would I say that? What's your name? So what is name? What is name? What is name in Hebrew? Think about it. Think about how do we greet brothers? Sometimes you gotta start using context clues or using things that we say often to see what it means. Because like for example, I asked what does Abba mean? Right? From your understanding, we always say Abba now when we do the Lord's Prayer. What's the Lord's Prayer starts off in English? We say Our Father. Nawa is our, so Abba is what? Father. Right? Salakia. Right? Now, I said, how do you say what's your name? So what else do we say that you might think that says in your name? Everything we say, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Baraka Ta. What is Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai is? It's Lord in the name of, so what the white people would America call him so-called Jesus Christ, right? Yahushai is his name. So what Bahashem means in the name? How does Bahashem mean in the name, right? Because I don't have him up here. But boom, again, like I said, that's in the name. So how would you say, what's your name? We're going to take away that in the and keep the root. We're going to keep Sham, which is name. Boom, name. Let me see that. Damn, that's bad. My bad. Salakia. Good night. Name. So if I want to say your name, I'm going to add the K. Shamka, right? What's what? Ma Shamka, right? Remember I said is implied. What is your name? Right? We can say, what else can we say? Let me see what else can we say. Okay. Okay. Another example I've been saying this whole day is Salakia. All right. So I said Salak means sorry. Salak, right? Equals sorry. Right? Equals sorry. So if I say Salakia I'm sorry, right? If I want to talk on behalf, I'd be like, hey, we are sorry. We're sorry. You know what I mean? I can even say Salak now, right? Just use different. You should start getting different ways you can say things, right? Using the suffix or the possessive, right? Simple. All right, I think we should. That's probably about enough recap of last class. We'll get into today's class. Let me see. So today's class, since we've been doing a lot of for the past couple of weeks, we've been doing a lot of different things, as if like what we did today, like we had suffix, prefix, numbers, colors, vocabulary. We said when to put y in the middle of a word, ya in the middle of a word. What does it mean? Like the 4 W's. Also last week we also talked about putting wan at the end of a word. What does it make it? Putting wan at the end of a word makes it a noun, or more of a name, right? So when you hear names like you see names like see things like Shamar, right? Shamar, right? You add a wan, it turns it into a name of a person. You know some Shamar wan, right? Okay, like add stuff like that. Or For example, Shemai, right? Shemai, which means here. Shemai 1. Right? And who is Shemai 1? Shemai 1 is the name of the tribe. It is Simeon. Right? All right, now we can get into the class. I'll erase all this on the board. All right. So, again, like I said, we're just going to do a recap of them. We're going to go down each character, and we're going to break it down, the origin, what it is. So, you know what I'm saying? All right. So, boom, we're going to start with A, right? I'm going to do A, Ba, Ga, Da. Right? So what is A? One thing you gotta understand about these things is the word, these characters come from the word, meaning what? That they had names for things at that time, and they developed characters or alphabet to produce more words, or to, as time goes on, you become more advanced, more intellectual about certain things. So we developed a language where we start having, full sentences. You know what I mean? We could portray our words or what you be trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Language becomes more, like I've been saying, more intellect through time, of course. We're not back then. We more advanced than we was way back then. But this is how we got here, by creating our own language. So, for example, you're gonna know what I'm saying. It's gonna be better explained when I show you. So, for example, A comes from what? We know that it is a cow, right? So this is A, right? That's what we say. It comes from Allah, right? But what is this? What is this? This is a cow, right? Cow or ox, right? So that's a cow, right? So that's where it comes from. That's what it is. That's what it is. It was a cow, right? So it is being portrayed. The image is what? Of a cow. It's kind of like a sideways. If a cow was to turn his head. So, I don't know. Let me try to. So if I had, let me try to do this real quick for y'all. Boom. I had this, right? Boom. Not the best drawing, right? If I had, here it is, right? See that? In my nose. Good night. That's like a little. Good night, y'all. My salagi. I'm gonna draw it straight up. So see if I drew, it's like this, right? Sideways, right? So if I drew it straight up like this, boom, right? I just outlined it. Boom. Horns, ears, boom, boom. I can draw even the body with it. Boom. Or some legs to it. Boom. See, that's better? That is the cow, Allah. He's seen that it was named Allah. Be like, boom. A character's gonna be taken from it. It's gonna be right? But you see it right here. Right. Why? Because when you start making words, you can break down words based on what it means. Cow is a strong, ox is strong. That's what it represents. Strong, right? So now look, check this out. Now we have Ba, right? What is Ba? What is Ba? Think about what Ba is and what could it be, right? Ba will come from the word Baya, which is what? A tent. But back then, that's what they had to live. They didn't have no, the houses we have right now, right? But so, this today would be, or modern terms, a house. That's what it be. And you see it, what? You see it? That's like the foundation that goes, right? Because a tent. You look at a tent. It's a triangle tent. Boom. Tent's a triangle, right? Simple, right? Adam is looking at these things. He's like, okay, boom. All right, Ba for Bayah, which is what they know as house, right? Now, we got God. What is God? God comes from the word Gamal. Good. Gamal. Which is what? A camel. You're starting to see something, watch. I don't know if y'all gonna catch it. I don't know if you're gonna catch it, but your papa already did. Camel, right? It's like the hump of a camel. You have a hump of it, you know what I'm saying? The camel got that hump right there. Boom. You got that little neck. Ain't no biz, but good night. Good night. Y'all get it. It look like a dinosaur, but you get the hump. You hump. Boom. All right, I'm gonna raise that because that look horrible. But y'all understand it, right? It's a camel. Right? Now you have what? Now we have the, which is the lot, right? The, which is the lot. Now what does that do? So I drew this, but what is that? That's similar to Bayah, right? That is door. That's what it means, door, right? Of course, when you walk in, door. Like say, like if I had a tent, if I drew a tent, right? Boom. If I drew it like this, and like boom, I like drew an entrance of it. That's what like the entrance would be back then. The entrance to get inside. That's like I ain't gonna do that again. It's Hebrew class. I know art class. All right, get it? Door. Now, what do you see? You see something that it shows that English is rooted in. They get what they got from Hebrew. That's what it looks like. How does it look like that? What's the first first letters of the alphabet? First four letters of the alphabet is A, B, C, D. Doesn't that look like an A? That's where A come from. Look at it. If I turn this like this, if I just flip it again, into the A, then we have Bayah, Ba, right? A, B, right? We have Ga, what is that? Gamal, which is what? Camel. That's the C. And we have Da, which is what? The Lath, which comes from what? D. All right. All right, that's the first four. Let's get some more, all right? We're going to keep on going down just to refresh. All right, we have how was ha. All right. What is ha? What is ha? Ha comes from the word hana. Comes from the word hana. What does hana mean? Means to behold. Why? Because it's kind of like, when I say like this, like think about what I'm pointing, like, hey, behold, like this right here. This, you know what I mean? That's where it comes from. You got to think back then, you seen things. Behold. Right? Don't think about too much. Don't be too complex. Like, you got to think back. You back in them days, right? Long time ago, and you seeing things and making your own language, right? Well, the Lord gave him the language, but you get the gist of it, right? Behold. Now, what else we have? We have wow, which comes from what? Wah, wah. What did he say wah wah for? Wah wah was what? A fish hook. Right? A fish hook. You see, like if I come right here, boom. Fish hook out. All right. Next one we have za. This comes from what? What does za come from? Right? Za comes from Zion. What does that mean? What is that? Weapon. Weapon. Right? How's this a weapon? Like, okay, I'm gonna try to draw like what the weapon it represents, right? Say I have like, this is I'm holding in this area, right? And back then, and right here, I would have what? I could have a sharp. Boom. And back there, I could have boom, a sharp. Now, it's like what you would say, a two-edged sword, right? Weapon. I had it right here. I'll just boom, just do work. Go to work with it. All right. Now we have next one is kaf, right? Which is comes from the word chama, right? Chama, right? Which is what? A fence. See how easy this is, man? Like, that's what it represents. A fence, a weapon, a fish hook. That's one easy. You turn it on, boom, you get a fish. Behold. Look, even when I go like that, look. All right. Boom. Let's get the rest, right? We stopped at ka. Now we have ta, ya, ka, and la. Right? So for ta, we have comes from the word tana. Which is what? A basket. Like if you look inside of a basket, think of a basket, like them old picnic baskets, right? Like made out of it's like the woven wood, right? When you look into it, boom, you see it, that's what you'll be looking at is in the basket, right? That's what it represents. The next one we have is Yah, right? What is Yah? What is Yah? Yah comes from Yad, which is what? Your hand. So if I say, when we say Yad Karab, that's what we're saying. Yad Karab, we are saying hand sword. Yad Karab, hand sword. All right. Now we have Ka, right? What is ka? Ka comes from the word ka. Oh, not like ka, right? Ka. That's where it comes from. Ka, which is your palm. When I'm writing these down, this is what it's being represented as, right? So, like when you look like right here, you have hand, right? I won't be able to draw that for you, but think about a hand going like this, like your arm, right? That'd be your hand. Now, like that'd be your how I say it. I'll do it. You have your arm. Think about your arm coming up, right? This would be your arm. This would be your forearm coming up. I can make it more. Let me make it more tilted. So boom, it's supposed to be more tilted. Going like that. All right. And ka is come from palm. That thing right here in the middle of your hand. That's when he was looking at. That's where he came up with it. Ka from that. Realize he's looking at things and he's making it based on the things he's looking at. That's how he's coming up with the characters. That's how he's coming up with the images of these characters. Right? Now we have la, which comes from lamad. Right? Comes from lamad, which means learn. Right? Now you would say like, you teach things with a rod or like a staff. Like you would teach them, like, you would teach people things so they learn things. You get it? It's like a staff, right? All right. Learn. Simple. Today's simple class, which is, basically going back off to the basics, basics. All right. Now, we stopped at la, right? We have ma, right? We have ma. We have na. Salakia. Mana. Sa. I. Where's ma? Mayam, right? Which is water. So when you see the waters, you got to think about like what's the universal sign of water? You would see this. You know what I'm saying? You would see that. Or like if you see mountain, for mountains it'll be this. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you use for water. You seen that and seeing it, and you got to think. Just think about. I'm gonna keep iterating it, but think about just if you was just back then and you came up with characters, and when you seen something, you made a character out of it. So I'm looking at the water, like okay, boom. Okay, that's I'm gonna write that down. Same thing like I see I'm looking at my palm of my hand. I'm like, okay, that look like a character. That look like, that look like a character. And I'm just calling it from what I'm calling it. I'm getting the character name from what it already is, right? So I'm like looking at my cop, right, which is my palm. I make that character. All right. We have now. This one is come from the word Nawan. This one's like a sprout. Right, it's like a sprout. All right, now we have Sa, right? Which comes from the word Samak, right? Which is establish. I like it. Establish. We establish it because it's like a flag support, right? Like a flag support, so we established. All right, I established it here. Like the white man. They think they get on the moon, so-called get on the moon. They want to establish themselves, so they'll put their flag right there. All right, they establish themselves on that moon that they own this thing, right? Okay. All right. So we have I. What is I? I comes from ayan, which is what? Your eye. It's literally your eye. You know what I'm saying? You do all this. When I was in school, I used to have the art. You draw an eye. Damn. Saying? Eye. Now, one thing you gotta understand is so how is it when I said that English, you think where they get their English from that is not rooted in Hebrew, that they don't get some stuff from Hebrew. You gotta think about this. Why is this symbol an eye? That's what it represented, an eye. They call it ayan. Today we are saying I. We say I-E-Y-E, but of course when we say I, boom. You know what I'm saying? It's common sense. When you start getting to look at it, where these people get these things from. We stop at I, right? So we get pa, taza, qua, ra. Right? So we have pa. What is pa? Pa comes from pa. Pa comes from pa, right? With the ha at the end, but it's connected, right? So it comes from this. I'll just do it just to show you what I mean, right? Right? It comes from. Boom. That's where it comes from, right? Now, right here, what you will see, it will be a side of a mouth, right? So I'm not the best drawer y'all be seeing, of course. Boom. If I'm talking, that's my nose, my head, boom. Somebody's mouth. Pa. So what does pa mean? Mouth, right? Mouth. All right, next one is taza. And taza comes from tazad, right? Come from the word tazad, which is side. You ask yourself, how's it a side? I'm gonna try to draw a picture for you. Boom, boom. Draw a little stick figure. Cover the word tazad, which means side. Taza, all right? All right. So some of these characters you gotta understand. You're looking at something on your side and you make a character out of it. You don't have to be verbatim because he's making characters, right? You don't want to be like, oh, that barely look a little bit like it. See what you did if you seen something and you had to create a language for it, right? What would you come up with? All right, not too long on this, like common sense, just for your notes, because when you start writing, Because when you start developing words, the whole reason why we had this is because when you start developing words, you have, you know, you will have meanings of words. For example, like, you know, when we had Abba, right? So we had right? We said we had, you know, which was what? Which was what? And you know, we had a cattle, right? Then we had Ba, right? Which is what? Comes from Bayah, which is this one comes from Alap, right? Which was what? Cow / ox. This one's house, right? Now, this one's your house, but cow and the ox could what? Equals what? Strength. Or authority. Who has strength and authority over a house? Who's the head of the house? Who's the authority of the house? The strength of the house? We know because what they say. If you want to spoil a strong man's goods, what? First you have to bind up the strong man, then you will spoil his goods. Why? Because you know the man of the house, the father of the house, is the strength of that house. You take him out, you could destroy his goods. So we say what? Abba, right? Abba means father. Which is what? He has authority or strength over the house. That's what Abba is, right? See what that is, right? We might do another lesson later where we start breaking down, you know, the meanings of each character and use words where they meaning. You come up with the meaning of the word using the meaning of the character that is using, right? Now we have what? We have Kwa, right? Kwa and Ra, right? This one comes from the word Kawash. What does Kawash mean? It is snare. Snare. And Ra comes from the word Salaki. Ra'ash, right? Which is head. Of course, you know head. Think about a stick figure. You know, today we would just do a stick figure like that, right? That's what we would do. But the head is being shown looking this way. When you look your head this way, that's what it's showing. Boom. Now, Qua is a snare, right? All right. We got two more. And I might, you know, at the end of class go over a couple things. Of course, classes like these ain't too much, you know, ain't too much really other things. You know, you're just getting down notes and foundations of stuff, right? Let me see. All right, let's get it. We have two more, right? Yeah. Shot. 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 And shot. Where does these come from? Let's get them. This comes from Sean. And this one comes from Foul, which is Mark. And this one is teeth. Right? So we have Mark. Like, Mark of the beast. You have a mark, right? It's like when they would say, it look like an X, right? What they always say? X marks the spot. That's what they say. X marks the spot. Right? Now we have Sean, which is T. Right? You even see like if you look at it, somebody's tooth, right? Yeah, tooth. And we got a picture of a tooth. What you look like? What does it look like at the bottom? Like a cartoon teeth, right? It's always have these like little points at the end. They have this dome. I can't really draw y'all, but you know what I'm saying? Let me see. So, they always doing that, like the two things, and they would have it like that. You draw it. So let me see if I could find a picture to tell you what I'm talking about. Let me see. Boom. See that? That's what it is right here. Can't make this stuff up, man. Real simple. Real simple. All right. So that's pretty much it. We just went over the origins of it. What Adam had this thing, what he's seen, came up with the characters of the Lashawan Qadash. Of course, we remember what we said. Let me raise this what we said. We said Lashawan, you know what I'm saying? We came up with the Lashawan Qadash. What is that? We say La Shawan. All right? Which is tongue. But of course, we added the wa into it. And I said wa equals ing. So what? His tongue equals speaking. All right? Now we have Qadash, which means holy. So we have a set apart language. All right? We have a set apart language. Holy means separate. So we have a holy language. That's why we have these classes, because we can say what we want to say. Because why? It is our language. I can say, Mashalamka, how's your peace? What's your peace? What would you respond with? You respond, hey, shalom, ya, my peace, tawab. I'm good, man. Right? That's what I'm saying. You could use a formal or informal. It doesn't matter. It matters up to you. You know what I'm saying? All right. Think if I'm missing anything I want to cover up. Let's see. We went over the previous class, right? We had the pronouns and possessive pronouns. We went over wa, was it ing? We went over ya. We went over what else? We went over. We showed what wan at the end of the name means, right? You don't want to get confused with wan right here, because the root word of shawan, right, is shine. All right, it's just tongue, right? All right, what else we went over? We went over the who, what, when, where, and why. Went over the 4 W's, right? In this class, we probably gonna use all that what we taught to start making sentences or use, examples in the scriptures. We're gonna start from here on. We learn the basics. We're gonna start applying that and breaking down scriptures, breaking down the scriptures, right? And how we know. With that, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Baraka Thumb to my brothers. Yahweh Shema Thun. Yahweh Shai. Right? To my sisters. And of course, Salakia, before I end the class, we was going to break it down. So we say Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Baraka Thumb. We knew that a thumb means plural. So Yahweh Ba'Shem, the name of Yahweh Shai, right? Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Barak, bless, a thumb, bless you. For our sisters, we say Yahweh Shamar A'athan. Yahweh watch over you. A'athan, watch over you. Right? We say Athan because it's what? Plural, right? We have the N in this feminine. So we said Shamar. Yahweh Shamar A'athan. Right? Yahweh Shamar A'athan. Bahashem, which is what? In the name of Yahweh Shai. Right? Shalom.